Dualism. Two tracks, our material bodies and our consciousness. That's what 17th century philosopher-mathematician René Descartes imagined. He's the guy who said, "I think, therefore I am." Other organisms are just material machines. We humans are that plus. We have consciousness or cognition, a thinking thing, an immaterial something that drives our bodies. Easy to picture, like Wi-Fi, cellular, or Bluetooth driving our phones. Descartes also invented the graph, an idea he had while watching flies flit around his bedroom one morning. He pictured three rulers laid out on two walls and the floor. A mark on each would identify a fly's position. Thus was born analytic geometry, the bridge whereby any material shape is translatable into an equation, and any equation is translatable into a material shape. Not bad for a meditation on flies before breakfast. Descartes called the mind the thinking thing, and the body the 3D thing. He guessed that the thinking thing enters the body through the pineal gland, sort of like an antenna in the middle of your brain, a notion dismissed even in his day. Today, most researchers dismiss Descartes' mind-body dualism as little better than supernatural hocus pocus. But what's their alternative? Usually an equation-based treatment of consciousness. Cognitive scientists observe organisms and distill features of their behavior to equations, algorithms, or even just descriptions of what makes us tick. Basically mental models of mental behavior. They then assume that one could run these models in matter, just like you can translate any equation into material form via Descartes' analytic geometry. But you don't have to. Consciousness is somehow in the researchers' models, their immaterial algorithmic idealizations. Thus, though researchers shun Cartesianism, they're still soaking in it. They're post-Cartesian Cartesians. It's still res extensa, your material hardware, and res cogitans, your immaterial software, for example, equations programmed into your genes or consciousness. Now, Descartes wrote 200 years before scientists discovered the second law of thermodynamics, which comes down to this. With time, everything material degenerates, petering out and falling apart. Not a problem for algorithms since they're immaterial, but it is a problem for us material living beings. The biggest problem, actually. The origins of life is the origins of self-regeneration, countering second law degeneration. We're not going to be able to explain life's self-regeneration with an immaterial algorithmic idealization that runs like software on non-degenerative material mechanisms. And yet somehow, though they won't admit it, cognitive scientists still bank on just such a Cartesian solution. Your genes and consciousness aren't reducible to non-material algorithmic idealizations, translatable by analytic geometry into non-degenerative material mechanisms. We aren't computers, and computers don't struggle to regenerate as we do. In the next video, I'll suggest a truly post-Cartesian solution to the mystery of life. Life's struggle for existence as something different from nothing but 3D chemistry.